Screen readers are audio interfaces. A blind person uses a screen reader to listen to the words on a website. Allow me to show you how an experienced screen reader user would hear the Gettysburg Address from a web page. Don't feel bad if you didn't understand much of it. Initially, it can take months to train a screen reader user to become proficient at listening at such a rate of speed. Ultimately, screen reader users are able to listen to a website as fast as a sighted person can read it. Now, the problem is if that screen reader comes across a passage that reads, as per the figure below, a blind person would require an alternate description of that image for the screen reader to play. Likewise, tables and forms need their own clues tucked away in the web page. We use a collection of software tools, like a screen reader, to find such accessibility problems. But our training is critical to finding all of them and to making the right recommendations to the client who enlists our help. Access2online uses software to empower us as analysts, not to automate us out of the picture. A human touch is really needed in this process of checking interfaces for accessibility. There are a variety of tools we use to assist in the analysis of each web page. Some of these tools scan the whole page, and some focus on specific elements. Depending on the standards we're using to analyze a page, we use different tools from our toolbox. Some of our tool options include Object Inspect, F12 Developer Tools, Sort Site, Wave from WebAIM, Web Accessibility, Toolbar from the Trusted Tester program, and Web Accessibility Favlets. Now that the customer's website has been loaded into an offline environment for our team to analyze, I'm going to demonstrate how a few of the tools from the Web Accessibility Toolbar work. A tool we commonly use is one that reveals if a developer has used the HTML code in an online form to connect the text label, such as first name, to the input text field where the name needs to be typed. This tool helps me analyze Guideline 1.3.1 subsection G of the Web Content Accessibility Guidelines, a common accessibility standard. Then I select this tool from the toolbar. What I'm looking for is a match between the value in the label's For attribute and the value in the text field's ID attribute. A match in values is correct HTML programming, which ensures that the screen reader user receives the instruction to put their first name into this text field. We also have a number of other tools and techniques to address other accessibility problems, such as data tables which fail to indicate column or row headers, or text which lacks sufficient contrast to the background, and so on.
Depending on the standard needed by a particular client, we use a matching workflow document to guide the analyst to test for failure conditions and make remediation recommendations. The Office of Accessible Systems and Technology, or OAST, provides an objective step-by-step process to evaluate web pages for compliance with Section 508 of the Rehabilitation Act. OAST offers a training course in support of Department of Homeland Security's implementation of Section 508 and the ability to earn a Trusted Tester certificate. Each analyst is a certified trusted tester capable of carrying out this rigorous battery of compliance tests. The Web Content Accessibility Guidelines, called WCAG for short, require a different method of evaluation. WCAG allows a site to claim conformance with 3 levels of accessibility, A, AA, or AAA. We construct a report after analyzing a website. When a violation is found, the analyst inserts specific identifying information about the violation and an example of the code where the violation occurs, and our suggestions as to how the customer can correct the violation to ensure compliance. When we have finished with the report spreadsheet, it's checked for quality by another analyst. We then compile all of the report spreadsheets for one site into a summary of Webmaster's Accessibility Remediation, or SWAR, The SWAR is a Word document that's a collection of the accessibility violations and remediation recommendations from the spreadsheets. This document serves as a to-do list for the client's web developer and is written to match the web developer's normal workflow. The SWAR lists every page that was analyzed, grouping the violations that occur on both individual and multiple pages. For example, a problem may occur in the header of every page, so we list this violation in the top of the SWAR since its remediation will take care of this issue across all pages. Each entry into the SWAR outlines the guideline or criteria relating to the violation, the incorrect code that has been used, and suggestions for correcting the violation.
If we're no longer talking about auditing a single web page for accessibility, but an entire website, this can often contain many thousands of web pages. Auditing and remediating every existing page would be an undue burden. Even the accessibility police recognize this and allow us to follow guidelines to identify the substantial part of a website and to start with that. The most popular guidance for this is called WCAG Evaluation Methodology, or WCAG-EM, with 9 distinct evaluation processes. This example includes all of the pages to be considered as part of the substantial website. Those that are common web pages, provide essential functionality, those directly related to accessibility, those that provide instructions, content types such as forms, tables, multimedia, technology types such as important process steps, popular pages in the visiting log, and any pages that have had an accessibility complaint. WCAG-EM tells us how to go through a website, consider and evaluate each page, collect it into categories, and then generate a list of pages to audit as part of a substantial website. This shortens the time it takes to analyze a site and saves the client time and money. Once the set of pages has been defined, we provide the client with 2 documents. The first document we provide is a list of the titles and URLs of all the pages we recommend be remedied. The second is an Excel spreadsheet report that contains details about each page recommended, the reason it was selected, and the different types of content and technologies found within the page.
Access2online has developed a system which helps our analysts reduce the amount of time spent checking for accessibility violations and writing remediation recommendations. This started by simply studying the work done by our analysts and then developing a comprehensive workflow with automation tools which do that work productively while maintaining our quality standards. Here's a workflow that uses over 100 specific checkpoints covering the 66 guidelines which WCAG requires for claiming AA compliance. For example, Guideline 1.3.1 covers the information and relationships in the page content. There are a number of aspects which must be evaluated here, and as you can see, there are 8 subsections that each include multiple items to be checked for compliance by our analyst. When constructing a report, we follow the workflow and use a comprehensive set of boilerplates that have been developed by Access2online. The boilerplate mirrors the sections in the workflow and provides structure, helping to create a reliably uniform deliverable that doesn't depend on the preferences of a particular analyst. We continually evaluate our workflow and procedures, looking for ways to increase accuracy and consistency. There is a constant feedback loop between the analysts performing the audits, the customers who receive the deliverables, and our process analyst responsible for developing internal procedures.